8 or 24?
Number 8. 24 was more challenging.
It's Monday, so that means 3 things. 1, I'm not your MCM. 2, it's a Mamba Monday. And 3, it's time for Day 24 podcast. How you guys doing? I'm your host, the product of poverty's environment, D. Pope Chuck Paul. Episode 211. Like father, like son. Yes, you know that Birdman and Lil Wayne compilation album with those two together, with that track, Stuntin' Like My Daddy, Stuntin' Like My Daddy. Of course, the song, Like Father, Like Son. Gonna talk about fathers and sons in this episode. But first off, like I always do, how you guys doing? Hope you guys enjoyed your week. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Yeah. Let's get right into it, talk of the town. LeBron James approached Stephen A. Smith during the third quarter of a Knicks game, which they happened to win in overtime, 109-113. And he had some things to say to Stephen A. about comments he made about his grown adult son, Bronny James, who also played for the Los Angeles Lakers, who splits his time between the Lakers and their G League team. Yeah. Funny, right? He has a problem with a sports commentator whose job is to comment on sports. Interesting, right? Well, shout out to legends on Instagram and Twitter. They always have a microphone somewhere and get the footage for us. So I'm going to play the leaked footage of LeBron approaching Stephen A. Smith. Interesting, right? Yeah, so of course, Stephen A., after trending all day on social media, took to his podcast, Stephen A. Show, took the first take to say what happened. Here's a 1-minute clip of Stephen A. explaining what happened.
Now let's get to a subject that's apparently gone viral on social media today, and it also involves yours truly. Last night I was in attendance at the Knicks-Lakers game, sitting courtside, where during a timeout, I believe it was in the third quarter, I was confronted by none other than LeBron James himself. LeBron had some choice words for me in regards to comments I've made prior about him in regards to his son, Bronny James. Before I get any further, let me just put to bed a couple of things that have been reported that are false. People was talking about LeBron called me out my name, or somebody said he called me a bitch. Somebody said he called me a punk and all this. None of that is true. He was fiery. He approached me during the game and he said, "Stop effing with my son. That's my effing son. Stop effing with my son." I said, "What? Nah, man, straight up, man to man. Real talk. Stop effing with my son." And I saw how furious he was. And I said, we can talk about it later. Nah, F that. Stop effing with my son. That's my son. I said, all right, dog. Fine. And he walked away. That's all he said.
All right, that's pretty much what the leaked video showed. And he expands on it more. He talks about it for like 30 minutes. If y'all want to see it, I can go on his page for the full video. But I'm going to give you the abbreviated, shortened Pope version. Pretty much like we've all been saying, LeBron brought this criticism on his son. Everyone always saying, oh, since when has anyone ever talked this much about the 55th pick? Since one of the greatest players of this generation told teams that don't draft my son, I'm playing wherever he plays. Only the Lakers should draft him. When you hold the Lakers hostage to draft him, pretty much. When he had a serious heart condition and passed out. And they rushed him back onto the court and into the draft combine. Of course, we're going to talk about that. And LeBron is acting like someone called him a bad father. Who called him a bad father? I see this all over the place. Who said he's a bad father? If Stephen A. called him a bad father, please comment the link below somewhere, please. So I can go ahead and comment on that. One of the reasons why people have something to say is because on March 6, 2023, LeBron tweeted this. Man, Bronny definitely better than some of these cats I've been watching on League Pass today. Shit, lightweight, hilarious. So we expected your son to come in the league and be nice. Right? And then he also said this on January 6, 2024 during a post game. During AD's availability, Austin asked LeBron about Bronny's game tomorrow at USC and if he'd be starting. LeBron said he thought it was time and loudly said he could play for us right now. Easy. Wrong and wrong, because obviously he can't. And obviously he's not better than half the guys in the league. Otherwise he'd be starting on the Lakers or some shit like that. You brought this on yourself, dog. This is just like when LeVar Ball was talking up his sons, who are actually good enough to make it in the league, as you can see, but putting the bullseye on their back, saying that his son is better than this guard, and that guard, and should be starting over this guard and that guard. All that's doing is putting a bullseye on his back, a spotlight on their game, to be talked about more. And if you can't see that, something's wrong with y'all. Seriously. Everyone has been saying the same thing, like, yo, he could play, but he's really like a G League player. He's killing the G League. I've watched First Take myself and seen them say, yo, check out Bronny killed in the G League. I don't put on the 520 podcast and see them say, yo, Bronny is killing in the G League. I didn't see on Gilbert Arenas' show, Gil's Arena, where they critiqued Bronny James and talked about the reason he's probably only in the league is because he's Bron's son. Yeah, we know that. Come on, man. Whenever an NBA player is getting criticized about their game, I laugh when they stray away and be like, well, I'm a father first. Like whenever Westbrook would have a bad game, they ask about his game, whatever, what could he have done to do this or X, Y, and Z better? And he goes off and like, yeah, you know, I have 2 kids at home. No one asked about your kids, bruh. We're talking about why you shot the 3-pointer from the corner and hit the side of the backboard. That's what we're asking about. We're talking about the game, not your personal life. And hell, to be honest with you, I don't even know if Bronny want to play ball. He might just want to be a video game streamer. He definitely won a streaming championship, for Call of Duty, if I could be mistaken. I mean, here are some receipts of other people who had things to say about Bronny James. Jaylen Brown during the summer said this, July 15th, 2024, if you want me to put a date on it. I mean, why didn't LeBron approach Jaylen Brown for that? He could have did that on Saturday in that loss against Boston, 101-111, which he injured his groin. He's going to be out for several weeks. Hell, last September on the Jimmy Kimmel Show, Magic Johnson had this to say about Bronny James.
If I'm Bronny, I would tell my dad, just let me play in the G League all season so that I can develop. He needs playing time. He doesn't need to be sitting on the Laker bench and not playing. That's not a knock against him. He's just not ready. He needs to develop more, and then he will be ready because he has some great talent and skills, but he needs to develop those skills at a much better clip if he wants to play 15, 20 minutes a night in the NBA or more.
So you think LeBron is making him play in the NBA?
I wouldn't say that.
Oh.
Because I don't know that.
Right.
But if I'm his father, like LeBron is, he needs to develop. It's just that simple.
What's wrong with that? It's like you work at McDonald's and you get an evaluation every year and they say, hey, you're not doing this X, Y, and Z wrong. How would you feel if your father just popped up and say, hey, don't critique my child. He's great on the fries. He should be on the burgers now. An honorable mention of LeBron going back and forth with Ime Udoka. Man, oh man, like, man, dog, can we just play ball? Seriously. And how does this make Bronny look? Like, we don't hear nothing from Bronny, just from LeBron. How does he feel about this? Now, his dad is speaking up for him, jumping into his little battles and whatnot. There's like the soccer mom, the soccer dad, the AAU coaches, parents and shit like that. You brought this on yourself with those tweets and those interviews, boosting his game up and shit like that. And you know what's so funny though? I almost forgot to bring this up. A couple of people on my Facebook, they had some things to say because I posted the video of LeBron getting in Stephen A's face. This one dude I know left all these goddamn paragraphs. I barely read any of them because most of them had nothing to do with anything. I deal with facts and what's said. These guys are just in their feelings and are emotional. This one dude said, sure, SES can get rocked. Next. I said, yeah, LeBron can go to jail and get sued for assault. Next. Seriously, LeBron was going to do shit. Like, come on now. Really? If y'all really think he's dumb enough to crash out on y'all behalf, stop it. Stop it. But yeah, man, let's see what else happens. Let's see if Bronny ends up playing some more games. Now that senior is out, maybe junior could step in. Yeah. But in other news, Power Book 3 Season 4 premiered last Friday. Oh, let me give you a quick recap. So, it goes back 3 months prior to the showdown with Rock, Kanan, Ronnie, Howard, and Unique. And they show when Unique was dumped in the woods and whatnot, and he was going to a cell phone trying to call somebody, ends up passing out. Some guy drives by the name of Early. Yes, Unique promises some money to take care of him, take him home, whatever, get him some medical attention. The dude early couldn't take him to a hospital, whatever, because the hospital needs money, and he has no money. He's waiting for Unique to get back on his feet so he could break him off some bread. So he's going to a vet to get him like painkillers and shit like that, and the veterinarian is telling him like, yo, I've seen these type of brain injuries, head injuries on dogs, and they normally become rabid after the fact. And we've seen glimpses of that, and Unique going crazy, having flashbacks like who can he trust, saying like, oh, her Rock is back on the streets, even though she said she was done. Now she's using the same setup that I was using before I got hit up by Ronnie. Maybe she's working with Ronnie. This is what he thinks. He doesn't know yet. Also, Rock got pregnant by Unique. We see her having random urges for chocolate, catching the scene in the bathroom throwing up, and then we see her at the doctor's at the chop shop, getting ready to get rid of that little trap baby she was finna have, you know what I'm saying? And also in episode we have Jukebox questioning what she's gonna do after high school. She's gonna join the military or something like that. Kanan's trying to learn more about his grandfather. Marvin took a side gig with the Italians to put a scare on, I forgot the guy's name, Tony Danza, whatever, from Who's the Boss, who plays the boss. His daughter's dating some guy. Needed Marvin to scare him a little bit. Let's see how that unfolds if Marvin ends up getting caught up in some side business bullshit that has nothing to do with Rock and may need Rock's help later on. Just the first episode, tying loose ends. I already seen in comments all over the place, oh, this episode sucks. Relax. It's just the first episode. It's going to turn up around episode 4 or 5 like it normally does. Whew. Before I let go, if you haven't watched Daredevil on Disney Plus yet, do yourself a service and please do. It's pretty much continuing from the Netflix Daredevil series, Daredevil Born Again, where he drops the cowl and he's just sticking to being a lawyer. And we have Kingpin shifting into mayor, straying away from being Kingpin. But we will see how they go back to their normal selves. Foggy was murked in the first 5 minutes, R.I.P. him. Another showdown with Daredevil and Bullseye, Kingpin and Daredevil. Well, Wilson Fisk and damn, how I forget Daredevil's real name, but anyway, as himself, meet up at a diner and just talk like, yo, if I have to put the mask back on, I will. And Kingpin is like, yo, if I gotta put you down as mayor, I will. So hopefully they stay on good terms, even though I doubt that happens. Like I always say, like, share, subscribe, comment. God is good. God is great. Thank God my paper straight. I am the Pope Chuck Paul. Peace out.